Welcome to the check-in, y'all.
Welcome to the check-in.
Of course, we gotta tell you guys, we be cussing sometimes. So, you know what? Just mind your earballs and do what you gotta do. Go about your business.
And remember, we are not mental health professionals at all. Just two people that went to therapy and trying to figure life out. So, if you need a mental health professional,
what I do?
Text 741. Text home.
Home?
Yes.
HOME?
HOME to that number. Yeah.
Boom.
Boom. There you go.
Let's get into this content.
Did we just come up with an episode name?
I think so.
Live, laugh, and die. Wow.
Pass away.
Pass away.
Pass away.
Pass away.
Pass away.
So I don't want to ask the question that I always ask. So can you ask the question that I always ask?
What's it?
Because I don't know.
He usually gives us a time to start.
Okay. Yes. Fantastic.
Okay. So
you said 3:30, but I was just making sure.
I didn't hear that at all.
Okay. Cool. So we were in the same spot.
No, because you heard it. I did it. That's different. Okay. What's up, yo? What's up?
Hey, guys.
We like to be consistent with podcasting.
We do, but life.
Yeah.
Life,
depression. Insomnia.
The pursuit of happiness. Migraines, health problems,
wanting to die.
Also traumatic events.
Yeah.
Yerp. Yes, but we're here now.
And a topic of the day.
Well, how are you today, first of all?
Oh, I'm doing very shittily. How are you?
I'm actually in a pretty good mood.
That's great. One of us has to be. Okay.
The topic of today.
The topic of the day is euthanasia.
Oh, I was gonna do the.
Go ahead.
So it's gonna be new merch, right? It's called Live, Laugh, Die.
Yes.
That's what
speaks to my soul.
What this episode is gonna be titled. So euthanasia.
Yeah. AKA Live, Laugh, Die.
Yeah. So for the people who don't know, euthanasia is, this would be helpful if I had Google right in front of me.
I'm gonna Google it.
But I have my phone too. So whoever gets it first.
I don't like racists to give me anxiety.
Why?
I don't know.
Euthanasia.
I can't even spell it.
All right. So euthanasia.
Oh no.
Is the
euthanasia is the painless killing. Go ahead.
The painless killing of a patient suffering from an incurable and painful disease or an irreversible coma. The practice is illegal in most countries. So it's also known as mercy killing or assisted suicide.
Really funny because I feel like I qualify. But anyway.
But why do you feel that way?
Because depression is not curable. It's treatable. Those are very different things. Nobody can give me a pill and be like, okay, it's over, you're done. I can't get like a plan B for depression.
That's crazy. I'm allergic to plan B. So.
Yeah, so you qualify too. Look at that.
Honestly, all right. So on a serious note, assisted suicide is legal in Washington, D.C. and the states of California, Colorado, Oregon. I say Oregon, but
Oregon.
Whatever. Vermont, Maine, New Jersey, Hawaii, and Washington State. Its status is disputed in Montana, though currently authorized per a Supreme Court ruling. So, that was just a quick Google. I don't even know if any of that is correct. So,
and, I mean, if you want to go abroad, because that's...
No, we don't.
Well, I'm going to just release it. When I was thinking about pursuing euthanasia, I was like, I'm going to go international because I might as well have an adventure before I die. So if you want to go international, it's legal in Belgium, Canada, Luxembourg, the Netherlands, New Zealand, Spain, and several states of Australia. So, I mean...
Under what circumstances? Like, is mental health disorders a legitimate reason to qualify for assisted suicide?
It should.
Okay.
It should be. And this is my reasoning. as somebody who has been suffering greatly in the last 2 weeks. And I'm going to tell y'all, you know, when we be telling y'all the little hotlines to call and text.
Yeah.
Your girl had to do that last Saturday.
Okay.
So, you know, it's very great that we say that in the beginning of all of our episodes because I didn't have to think about it. I knew 741 home. But anyways, I'm calling this a helpline. And again, full transparency. I called 2 hotlines or texted /messaged. The first one, it was over 30 minutes and they had not gotten back to me. So I closed it. Because when you're feeling suicidal ideation very strongly, 30 minutes is a long time to wait for somebody to be like, don't do it. The second one, right at 30 minutes, they messaged me back. And this was at 5 a.m. So I'd been spending a good amount of time trying to get to somebody to emergency help me. And I will say my experience wasn't that great because the person asked me a very peculiar question. He said, "What do you intend to get out of this conversation? A will to live?" I don't know why you're asking me that.
Is this the 741?
No.
Okay.
No.
Good.
That was the crisis text line or crisis messenger line, which you can access through Facebook Messenger. So if that's more convenient for you, there it is. And again, they got to me in 30 minutes. The other one that I reached out to, I don't even remember what it was. It was 35 minutes and they had still not gotten back.
30 minutes is still unacceptable.
Yeah.
That's not okay.
When people, discuss veterans and how long it takes them to actually get help on these lines, that shit for real.
It makes sense.
So
it shouldn't.
I mean, like, when
sense, Jesus.
you need to have, I want to say, like, a break glass kit with options. Because if your only option is to reach out to these helplines, you might find that they're not able to help you as quickly as you want. So if it needs to be, have your trusted friend, trusted adult, have the hotline, have a therapist. So at least if you can't get somebody that night, you can actually go to somebody hopefully the next day. Have your favorite food, favorite movie, sleep routine, whatever. Just have some other things that can all work for you. But I digress. So after having my experience that I had last week, I was really feeling like, damn, why is it not okay for me to just say, I don't want to be alive?
Because, okay. Can I play devil's advocate this episode?
Yeah.
So what I've heard people say is suicide is selfish. It affects everybody around you and not just you. It's a temporary solution. No, permanent solution to a temporary problem. Is that all the cliches? Did I cover everything?
I think so.
So all those things are correct. But when you're in the moment feeling like, wow, I could just end my pain right now. But
see, I disagree. I don't think suicide is selfish.
Okay.
My reasoning behind that is you're the one who has to live with yourself.
Yeah.
Nobody else has to fight their brain every moment of every day.
Brain diabetes.
And that's even if you have treatment available to you. My spiral downwards was literally because I wasn't sleeping.
Yeah.
And I'm on medication. I have a therapist. I have a psychiatrist. I'm doing, quote unquote, all the things I should be doing. Going outside, having a cat, playing with the cat, taking care of plants. Like all the things that they say to do.
Yeah.
That didn't stop my depressive episode.
Yeah.
So when people say it's selfish, I'm like, you're elevating yourself beyond my suffering.
Yeah.
And you are being selfish. Because you don't have to endure this pain. And especially people who don't have mental illnesses, they don't understand how, like, difficult it is just to get out of bed.
Yeah.
Like, just to do basic
just
hygiene.
To wash up.
Like to feed yourself. Like, these are everyday struggles. There's no cure for depression. It's treatment.
It's treatment.
So you're just treating symptoms and trying to be normal, and that is exhausting. If every day you woke up, you had to like make your own clothes and make your own soap and make your own lotion and make all the things like grow your own food, you would be tired.
Okay, but what about the ripple effect of suicide? Like, you're saying it's not selfish, and I actually see what you're saying. It makes sense to me. But again, devil's advocate for the episode.
Yep.
What about your mom?
No, my mom would definitely be heartbroken.
Yeah.
And, you know, as much as I when I was planning things, I was like, you know what, I'm going to get all my affairs in order. I'm going to make sure, you know.
Get your affairs in order. Be responsible.
I'm going to make sure, like, my assets go to friends or family that can use them. Like, I would make sure that nothing that I have, like, gained in this life would go to waste. And part of that would be reaching out to people who I know would take my absence very hard.
Yeah.
And my mom, I would just have to keep telling her it's not her fault. I think she would probably blame herself anyway, but I can't fight that battle for you. Like, that's not for me to have to deal with. Like, if somebody got terminal cancer, you don't go, oh man, it's so just sad that you don't want to fight through it. No, it's terminal cancer.
Yeah.
You're gonna die. So it's just a very odd like difference between the two when they're, in my opinion, essentially the same. When you have cancer, you may not think about dying. You may not have suicidal ideation. You may, you know, actually take care of yourself. When you have depression, you don't have that. Everything in your brain is telling you, shut down. We're done. So it's like the same grace and mercy that's given to people who have terminal illnesses who decide, I can't afford to fight this, or I don't want to, or the, you know, the cons outweigh the pros. We don't feel sorry for them in the same way. Like, we might be sad that, you know, the situation has happened to them, but we don't guilt trip them into, oh no, you need to keep fighting.
It's because it's not visible. And for the people outside looking in, sure, but when you're actually living it, it's very visible. Like, if I can't get out of bed for 3 days, something is fucking wrong with me. And, you know, again, I'm doing all the things I need to do. Like, there's this one tweet that's just been retweeted to hell and back, but it's so real. It's just like, this girl is saying how her brother did everything, literally everything, still killed himself. Like, you have to understand that any type of mental disorder, it's a brain disorder.
It's a disease of the brain. And there are, I mean, like, yes, it's not that visible for outside people on the outside looking in. They're just going, you're acting weird.
You're acting weird. That's
but
it.
You know, there is a deterioration of our brain. Like, that is facts. Memory, like the ability to remember fond moments, the ability to remember when you're happy or what it feels like to be happy. Like, all those things are gone. So it's just like, that's definitely gonna affect how a person goes through their day if they can't even remember the last time they were happy. And it's not even that, like, you could have had depression for 3 months and 3 months ago you were living your best life. You won't remember it. And so then it feels like a very hopeless situation.
It does. It's also important to consider the fact that, like, Lord, brain chemistry, neurons, neutrons,
sheet of science,
electrons, protons, megatrons. Anyway, all those things are fucked up, right? So
Megatrons. Autobots.
Autobots assembled in your brain, and they're all fucked. They're all assembling wrong. So it's like, you can give your Autobots some oil. You can polish up the wheels.
But when that motherfucker start rusting and they can't no more, like, that.
That's what's happening in your brain, and you're just forcing people to stay here and live through it because you don't want to see them go. Like, I get it. I understand it. And I'm not in any way saying, hey, little beautiful galaxies, go kill your... Like, no, that is not what this episode is about.
This is not an advocacy for euthanasia, even though, if you ask me on the side, I might say something a little different. But
this is just an open conversation about the very real reality that, outside circumstances, obligations, relationships obligate you to live through the bullshit every day and day, and it's not always fair.
And the option should definitely be on the table.
And I really don't think if your mental health disorder or whatever you may be dealing with actually qualifies for assisted suicide or legal euthanasia. Like, I really don't. I think there's a huge gray area there.
And it's upsetting because it definitely should. People who are, actually both sides, people who are, in our case, doing all the right things and seeing very little progress, or people who don't have access to those things, can't afford those things. Like, medication is expensive.
Yeah.
Like, for sure, therapy appointments are expensive. Like, like if you have the trifecta of primary care, psychiatrist, a behavioral therapist, like all three of those things are expensive. My one, it wasn't even 24 hours hospital stay.
Yeah.
Was over $2,000. Like, people can't... Yeah, did you not know that? Boom, surprise. Okay. So, you have to be able to... Like, you can't even just go to the hospital and be like, I'm a danger to myself, I need help.
Yeah.
Because now you're in debt.
Yeah.
So, it's just like, some people don't have the option to get help at, their financial level. And especially if you're, if you're homeless, if you're, running away from an abuser, like there's so many other gray areas where, there are programs, but those programs are overworked, underfunded. Like if you really want to take your mental health and wellness into your own hands, you have to have money.
Yeah. And this actually reminds me of a story. So it was the Black Onyx Movement rally that you were DJing at. Went to, and this lady, he's not even paying attention. It's okay.
He better be watching one of our YouTube episodes.
Zoned out. It's okay. Follow us on YouTube. Anyway.
Subscribe, like.
Yes.
Ding that bell.
Please. So the lady that after like it was a rally type situation, spoken word. Yeah. There was a woman. She got up on the mic and was like, y'all, this is all cute and whatever, but there's real people struggling out here, and I'ma just, go hang myself from a pole or whatever. Like she got up on the mic and she was like, this is bullshit. Like, no change is being happening. We're not talking about the mental health to pipeline to prison system, because she herself had her own mental health issues, and she was involuntarily hospitalized, and it fucked her up. So, I mean, there was a group of us. I was in the group, but I was listening to everybody say, like,
don't do it.
Yeah.
Your life is precious.
And I felt
Jesus loves you.
I felt so weird in that moment. I was just like, I'm usually the person that is very comforting and very, like, nurturing, but in this moment I felt like it was just her moment.
Sis is speaking facts.
She
let
really
her go
was
off.
Like, she really was just speaking truths, and I'm just like, I thought to myself, who am I to tell her to stay? I mean, it's not really like, if she needs somebody to listen to her, absolutely, I just let her talk. Like, people were trying to interrupt her and be like, no, listen to me. Life is beautiful. And I just felt dumb, awkward. I was like, her life is actually very hard. And if she doesn't want to suffer anymore, that's her right to choose. And who am I to say, no, don't do that? All I can say is, hey, if you ever need anything, you could follow me and like I'll hit you up. But other than that, I felt it was extremely inappropriate for me to tell her to not do whatever it is she was planning on doing because she had gone through so much. She was homeless. Her family deserted her. Like, nobody was listening to her. She was like, she literally said the only time y'all gave a fuck about me was because I said I was going to kill myself. Other than that, nobody ever listened to me throughout my entire life. So how I would react the same way. I would be like, this is disingenuous. This is phony. Like, y'all really don't care about me.
Y'all proving my point.
Y'all are proving my point. You just want me to stay here and live this fucked up life, but you don't want to help me and my life be less fucked up.
So the book that my honey muffin gave me, The Conspiracy Against the Human Race.
He recommended.
That book is phenomenal. And this is why. So, like, this is not your, have fun, go on an adventure. Like, this is not, oh, yes, all the people in the White House are lizard people. No. This is literally an essay from a horror author who's just saying, I'm going to attack things at the root. Why do we all believe it's a good idea to be alive?
Yeah.
And that book really gave me a sense of peace because when you have a bunch of people telling you like, no, you need to, it's better. Why? Why is it better?
Yeah.
Because it doesn't feel better for me. Maybe it's better for you, but not for I. And so this author really goes through explaining, his take on a lot of things and religion and being around for family and pretty much all the things that, the cliches that people tell you.
Yeah.
And it was just very freeing for me to know that there was this line of thought where it's like, hey, it's not fun to be alive. It has fun moments, but the daily grind, the repetitiveness, the having to fight your own brain, like these things suck. And we need to not pretend. We need to stop pretending that it doesn't suck.
Your honey muffin also recommended this book called "The Problem with Being Born" or something like that.
Yeah, I haven't read that one.
That one is it's a bunch of like little paragraphs. It's like random word vomit thoughts. But it's just this dude bitching and complaining about life, and he's making points. Like at times, I find myself laughing because I'm like, this is just ridiculous. Like if you're that upset,
do your thing, sir.
Bye. But no, it's an interesting read, and it's nice to see that there are people that think like that because sometimes I do get down on myself like, oh, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like
I hate the like term like misery loves company, but sometimes it's really true. Like you don't need somebody to tell you that it's gonna get better or that you can do this, that, and that you're a great person. Sometimes you just need somebody to go, I get it. Yeah. Like I feel like that too sometimes.
But people are afraid to have those honest conversations because then they'll be institutionalized, They'll get a red mark. It took me years to feel comfortable talking about suicide in therapy because I was so scared
that they were going to admit you.
That they were going to admit me. And like now I can make suicide jokes. They're very tasteless.
She should probably stop doing that.
Probably stop. My therapist does say, "Hey, come on now." I'm just like, but now it's like, I think it's important to give people these spaces to talk about it because, like that lady at that event, she never had people listen to her in that capacity until she said, "I'm going to hang myself from a light pole." That was the only thing that made people want to be like, oh my God, take my number, blah, blah. Okay, where were all those people when she didn't have a place to stay?
Like, I remember when you first told me that, and I was like, oh, I'm very glad I didn't go to this event.
For real would have been like, sis, do it. Like, do
it responsibly, though. Okay, make sure your affairs in order. That's my go-to. You want to do something? Make sure your affairs are in order. Because sometimes that's enough of like, actually thinking about, okay, I don't care about my life or my stuff anymore, but somebody needs a house.
Yeah.
You know, somebody needs a car.
Yeah.
It might not be the best house or the best car, but hey, if it's free, it's free. And these are good things you can provide to people. And once you start thinking, you know, about what you've maybe gained in your lifetime or what you haven't and things you may still want to do, like that can actually be therapeutic.
Yeah.
But if you really about that life, like this is I think it's an important thing to consider, like that I feel like it's the payoff between like me being selfish and me not being selfish. Like, okay, I'm giving away the things that I was able to get in this life. And so, you know, if somebody says I'm selfish, I could have literally died in my house, in my car, in my garage, and haunted this, and just somebody would have had to tear it down.
Exactly.
But I'm not.
Yeah. I do want to like close this out on a lighter note. There was a moment within the past month that I discovered what it was to have a lust for life. And it was a very beautiful moment. I was higher than a kite. So I want to get to that point in a sober state of mind. But, you know, I think it was a aha moment in front of you. I was just like, yeah. I was talking about my group chat. Shout out Cuff Fam. I kind of broke up. I don't know who's... So anyway...
Y'all should have like a show like Love and Cuddy.
Yeah, like
Love and Cuddy Worldwide.
When we do our music episode, I'm gonna definitely talk about Cuddy, real, because that man, that beautiful, sexual, beautiful, lovely man.
That man that loves cream of wheat.
Cream of, yeah. With the dress.
Lust for life.
Lust for life. But anyway, so I was talking about my group chat and how we all come from different walks of life, and how it was just like, although unfortunately there have been some dramatic moments throughout the couple months that I've been in this chat, it's beautiful seeing other people's walks of life. And then when that sentence left my mouth, I was like, oh shit.
I like living.
Is that what a lust for life is like? Is like being able to have these connections and experiences with people, and seeing that you are just a small, like, shedding a light on how insignificant you are in this universe. It's a really powerful moment. And when you can have those moments through interacting with just people at, like, I like festivals, like, you know, like I really like festivals for that reason, because I find my community and I find my people group, and I'm just like, whoa, I'm not as alone, and two, I'm not as important either. Like it's an interesting like back and forth that goes through your mind when you experience in these different people and different walks of life. And you know, I was so filled with appreciation that I was just like, holy shit, is this what it means to be alive? Am I living life? Like, I feel like I'm alive. Like, it was a beautiful moment. But again, I was high as kite. So I would like to have those moments of realization in a sober state of mind, but, you know, not to make this whole episode about dying. Like, you do have moments like that where you are appreciative and you are grateful, and it's just hanging on to that. I don't think it's fair for somebody on the outside to tell you you need to always think this way. Yeah. Because it doesn't work that way.
It's like when they talk about success, and they're like, success isn't straight up. It's like a roller coaster, and it goes into the dirt and sub-core of the earth, and then it comes back up.
Magma.
Yeah. So I'm just like, you know, mental health, or even, you know, physical health is very much like that. You can do all the right things and still have bad experiences. You can have, you know, maybe skip some medicine a few days and have a good day. Like it's very random. So
I think just being conscious and aware of what how you're telling other people to feel is the main point I want to hit on home. Like I don't feel like it's our place to tell people that they have to struggle. You don't. It's your choice. Like if you if you're pro-choice, you got to be pro-choice through and through. You can't pick and choose what you want to choose.
And even, even as a Christian, like I've really struggled with my depression, specifically the suicidal ideation, because I'm like, life is precious. Like, God gave me life. He knitted me in the womb and stuff. Like, why do I feel like this?
Yeah.
Like, I shouldn't feel like this. Like, this is wrong. And it's just like, no, this is life.
Yeah.
And you can still, love God and love other people and still have a good heart and a kind spirit and be tired.
Yeah.
And, when I say tired, like, for anybody who has any health issues, mental health, physical health, it's a different kind of tired. Like, it's not like, oh, let me take a nap and I'm okay.
Yeah.
Like, it is draining everything from you, your brain, your spirit, like everything. So I have never been opposed to euthanasia. And like I said, as a Christian, that was a struggle, but I'm just like, you know what? If the option is there, who is that? Like, that doesn't have to do with me. Like, if I believe suicide is wrong, and I know Catholics believe that I think you don't go to heaven if you commit suicide. Also, I think Muslims as well. And there are a few other religions that, like, pretty much are like, no, that's the easiest way to, like, go to the place you don't want to go. But
I guess because you're taking your higher power's gift away. You're ending a
I
gift.
can understand it.
Yeah.
I can definitely understand it. But, thankfully, I'm a Christian, non-denom. And I believe that if I do something I ain't got no business doing, like, there's forgiveness.
Yeah.
John 3:16 doesn't say if you live your life all the time and never kill yourself. It doesn't. It said believe in Jesus. That's it. You believe, you good. So that's my take on it from a religious sense. But, as a person, just like I believe people should have the option to get an abortion, I feel like people should have the option to get euthanized, because at least it's controlled. People are going to kill themselves if they don't want to be alive.
Yeah.
It being illegal is not going to stop that from happening. But if we do as much screening to people who want to be killed as we do to people who are women and want to get their uterus removed, we could probably save some lives.
Wow.
If we policed people's mental health as much as we did, women's bodies in this country, a lot of people will get the help that they need.
Yeah.
So let's
food for thought, huh?
Yeah. Like, let's be more open-minded for the people who don't feel like they have anything left, and the people who maybe just actually need treatment. Like, there are a lot of different ways this can go if our system was set up to actually help people.
But it's not. It's created to make money.
And so in that respect, it's just like, all right, why shouldn't I have that option? Why is that option not on the table? But like you, I've definitely had some experiences where I'm just like, bro, I'm happy. Anytime I get a full night's sleep, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I'm going to, like, click my heels and stuff. I'm going to go out and spend a bunch of money.
Yeah.
I'm going to go out and be free and happy.
Yeah.
And so if you're willing to...
It's me after a Kush coma.
If you're willing to... I don't remember the exact quote from Deadpool, but he's like, life is like shitty with brief commercial breaks of happiness. If you can get through that and be okay,
bro, that is so real.
Then you can, like, if you can do it, do your best. If you can't, you should have the option to go peacefully.
Exactly.
But
the powers that be say no.
Yeah, I mean, like,
there are a handful of states, handful of countries, but the majority is, like, very much against it.
I think we would see a very different country if we gave people really the freedoms that we say we give people. But for now, it just lives in my head. Oh my gosh, euthanasia is so awful. How do you feel about that, Tall Twin? I don't.
I don't feel a thing.
I think that's not your business. Like, people sometimes just need to mind their business.
Yeah, because
if somebody's not asking you for advice or asking you for help, if they're just word vomiting on you, just listen. You don't have to be like, well, if you read Zechariah 12:37, listen, I ain't ask you for that. That's for you. That's not for me.
Bro, that's how I felt at that one moment in my life. It really was like profound. I was like, whoa, my worldview has changed drastically. Because I like always been a mental health advocate, always been like suicide is permanent for temporary. That was my go-to. And then like I started to experience it myself. And I was just like, I don't think it's very fair for somebody to tell me to just be happy.
Like the temporary situation for a permanent solution or whatever the hell.
Yeah.
That always made me laugh because I'm just like,
I wonder if that's
my depression is not permanent?
It is.
Is it gonna go away in 9 months like a baby?
Medication for life, gang, gang.
Like, that's not how that works at all. But I had the same experience. Before I had any mental health issues, I was like, live, laugh, love. Let's do all the things.
Yep.
Let's be happy. Let's be great. And then I got depressed and I was like, end it.
End it all.
I mean, like, what am I going to school for so that I can get a job and work a 9 to 5 for 60 years and still not have enough to retire?
I think it's your choice what you want to live for. And if you choose you don't want to live anymore and you're thoughtful and you handle your affairs, who am I to say otherwise? Even if I love you.
Let me ask this. Put on my
devil's advocate hat.
Devil's advocate hat.
Devil's advocate slap.
Devil's advocate.
Devil's advo slap.
Yeah. What if that person...
That's what the hat is called, the satin line hat. Shout out Grace E.
Yeah, I've been following Grace for years.
Grace,
this
sponsor
is doing
us.
Great.
Let's get some money.
Yeah, let's get some money. We can put a little ad in every single episode of You Own It. So anyway, what if that person has kids?
I feel like kids are the biggest trigger in this world. I mean, postpartum depression, bro, that is like...
We watched the little thing with Andrea Yates.
Yeah.
Sis killed all five of her kids.
Like...
Because of postpartum.
It's horrible.
And her doctors failed her. Like, it wasn't even like she wasn't trying to get help.
Her doctors and her husband failed her. But then... I found that after the husband was kind of like defending her, he was like, she did love them. Like, but I think he put so much pressure on her to keep up with the household that she just snapped. And this is no excuse. This is not, what she did was horrible.
Yeah, but you can see with a lot of people, in the like degradation of her mental health.
Yeah,
it's not like people don't get hit with a depression stick and then they're like, I want to die now. No, it's a buildup.
Yeah,
like
there were a lot of signs before that happened, and for people that have kids, I would love to be that person that's like, oh, live for your kids, but I'm just not that person anymore. And I think because I've been on that other side of the fence, that I know it's just so unfair for me to say, you have X, Y, Z to live for, when there are valid moments where you feel like you don't.
And I know, my parents went through a lot and they put themselves through a lot for the sake of the kids. But I never... Like, I remember telling my mom often, I was just like, having a loving parent, that's all a kid really needs.
Yeah.
And if you can't be that, there are other options.
Yeah.
Like, don't, destroy yourself for another human being, even if it's your kid.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, that person probably wants the full version of you. And if you're not capable of giving them the full version, I think you need to consider that and give them an environment where they can have a full mom or a full dad or a full grandparent or whatever.
Yeah.
Because it's equally traumatizing for a child to see their parents get divorced as it is for them to see a parent unhappy or see a parent crying at night. Like, it's doing the same amount of damage.
Yeah.
But I'm glad we're on the same page there.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's it. That's all I had to say.
You got any current events you wanna touch on a little bit?
Yeah, so current event, I'm probably gonna like go ahead and email Hogan and be like, hey,
Shut the state down again?
you need to do what DC doing and mind your goddamn motherfucking business, bitch, and let people get euthanized.
Oh. I did not know that's where you were going with it.
Yep.
Okay, I mean,
A little twists and turns there. I got you to the destination.
I fucks with it. You kept it relevant.
But I do actually have a current event. So apparently, I don't know that this is true, but this is what I got from the interwebs. There have been 0 deaths from COVID since October 2020 in Maryland.
Oh.
Just in Maryland.
Yeah.
And 45.2, it's probably higher now, a little higher, of the U.S. population has been vaccinated. 45 is under 50, so that's quite sad. But there are many...
These statistical... 45 is less than 50?
Yep.
That's sad.
That's not okay. People was dying last year. Stop. Just get your shot. It's free.
There's still vaccine fear.
So the 2 states that had the highest, I ain't doing it. Montana.
Yeah.
25.8% of their population was like, absolutely not. And Wyoming, 27.4% of their people was like, I'm good.
And now there's a thing called the Delta variant.
I saw a tweet from Delta where they're like, what dumbass named this the Delta? And then Corona replied, it was like, join the club.
That's hilarious. Whoever is running their Twitters.
Give them a raise.
Give them a bonus. That's fantastic. But yeah, no, I'm proud of Maryland. Hogan, he pisses people off, but he's not the worst. Like, I can admit that, but I have heard that he's deferred some money from HBCU.
He's recently been doing some shady stuff.
Yeah, but I think it's because he's going to run.
Yeah.
And he's trying to get his Republican base all riled up and like, yeah, you're not a rhino anymore. You're not a Republican in name only anymore. You're a Republican. I don't know.
Love America.
I don't even know why I did that accent because my dad's a registered Republican.
Oh. Is he okay? Does he need...
There is a belief that the party of Lincoln is still a thing, but it's a different party now.
Lincoln dead. He been dead for a while, so I don't understand.
That's where the thought process comes from. They're like, oh, the Democrats historically, you're right. There's different parties now.
Yeah. If we're voting in the historical times, then yes, but we're not. So
we vote in the present day.
That's like me being like, you know what? I only want old white men that have military experience in the White House because of George Washington. I will not vote for anybody else. Obama, no. If you're not a white man, tall with wooden teeth, I don't want to see it in my house of white.
Bro, I don't even know if it's real or not, but apparently his teeth were his
slaves' teeth. Yeah. And I'm sure they were asked before they were donating. Like, hey,
disgusting.
Can you...
This is disgusting.
Hi, I represent George Washington. Do you want to sign up to have some teeth removed for the cause? For what cause? Because he couldn't take care of his own teeth?
I'm disgusted.
Why do I got to help with that?
Our American history is abhorrent. And the fact that, for my current event, thank you for them COVID facts, but I'm just going to touch on again the fact that critical race theory is not racist. Like, being critical about our own American history is not inherently...
I'm offended.
No, you're not offended.
I'm offended.
You're not. That's facts. That happened.
No.
Me saying that George Washington...
Why are we focusing on the bad stuff?
Because it happened.
So, I happened. People don't focus on me.
I'm just so sick of this shit, bro. Because
you just want a country of sad white people. That's what you're saying.
It is affecting every institution of any academic institution. Like, the thing that happened with UNC, I'm not familiar with this woman that is about to accept a position at Howard, but apparently she's a big fucking deal.
Yeah.
And that's on me. I need to do some research. But, like, the whole thing with her UNC tenure, it was being held up because of her views on critical race theory. And I was just like, why is this, why now? Like, why is this being attacked right now?
Because we want to look better. Juneteenth's a holiday.
We're in 2021.
Yeah, so why are we going back to the 1800s?
Because the systems that were put in place in the 1800s are still oppressing people today. No, are you sure? That was my only current event. We need to wrap it up. It's a long episode. But anyway, that just pissed me off. I just do better, people. Like, write your representatives. ResistBot is a phenomenal resource. It will draft letters, send text messages and emails for you.
And countable.
So just, tell your Congress people to do better. Because we deserve better. And we voted them in office.
Yeah.
So
I don't like that minorities' history, which is already not being taught, is now being just completely eradicated from.
Because they don't want white guilt?
They're going to be like, we fought the British and now we're all a happy family. Huh?
What?
Asian people came over to help us with trains. Black people came over to help us with labor.
Yeah, came over.
And then we held hands and we had our first Thanksgiving with the Indians.
I was too old when I learned about the Japanese internment camps. I was too old. I wasn't young. I was too old. I was never taught that in school.
I was taught that, and then I researched Japanese history, and I was like, oh my God. Y'all have been doing some really not okay stuff. So, yeah, it's like, because I learned when I went to China why it was such a big deal that my roomie, Julia, she's Korean. Everybody kept thinking that she was Chinese. Like, the Chinese people thought she was Chinese. And she was really, really offended. And I was like, I don't understand and I want to. And she started telling me the history between Korea, China, and Japan, and Taiwan. And I was just like, oh my God, what's wrong with y'all?
Yeah, it's the same. Like,
it's very American-y.
Bro, America, stop destabilizing countries and being shocked when the shit collapsed.
But then what else do we do? America.
Mind our own business. America should stand for mind your motherfucking business.
Can we insert like an eagle screech like behind like America? Okay, yeah, we need to wrap it up.
All right.
So yeah, what we said to do that.
Yeah.
Always stay researched up.
Yeah.
And it's okay to disagree with people sometimes, but don't be a booty hole.
Hot conversation. Honest, open, and transparent conversation.
Hot. Also, just gonna like plug this. Guys might see a new look from us very shortly. So
got like a new logo or whatever.
Be excited or whatever.
It's kind of cute.
It's pretty cute.
And we're able to merchandise it.
Yep. So y'all looking for merch? We finna have you on that, baby.
All right.
Oh yeah. But love yourself.
Love each other and others.
And continue to be that beautiful galaxy that you are.
Continue to be the beautiful galaxy that you are. And we will see you next week. And remember, life is a bitch that doesn't mind her
motherfucking business, bitch! Amen.
But
a word.
Don't let that bitch ruin your day.
Yeah. Push that bitch in her face.
Yeah. Don't get caught doing that.
Yeah, don't catch charged.
Jail time. Anyway, okay.
Bye.
Bye.